Well, welcome everyone. Here we are, Wednesday, November 18th, 2020. I am Bonnie Low-Kramen coming to you live from my home in Ponte Vedra, Florida. And I am joined by the wonderful Jennifer Wilner. Hi, Jen.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Bon.
Hey. So today is a day about calming chaos. Today is a day when we are going to be an oasis of sanity in a sea of insanity that is the world and the workplace right now. That here we are in November, and it's crazier, it seems, than it was even a few months ago. So part of solving the chaos, calming the chaos, we're going to be talking about OneNote. 2 weeks ago on Heads Together, when Jen and I were talking, we were talking about subject matter expertise, and we were asking, what people's areas of expertise were. And our guest today commented in the chat that she's an expert in OneNote. And the chat exploded with people commenting about, I want to know about OneNote, and people just, this love letter to OneNote. And welcome, Beth Tucker, and hi, Tara Kaufman of CSP. Dusty, welcome from Minneapolis. Dusty saying he loves OneNote. Well, Dusty, you're going to have to let us know if you learn a thing or two today about OneNote. Hey, Mary from Houston, Mary Allenese. Jen, you're a fan of OneNote. You've been using it for about 3 years now, right?
I have, and our very good friend and Microsoft trainer, Vicki Sokol-Evans, taught me what I was doing wrong in OneNote 3 years ago, but I open it every day, every single day at my desk.
Is it easy for you to share verbally about what you were doing wrong, and so everybody can learn from you?
Yeah, so I learned that I was clicking on the icon on my computer and not opening it up in OneDrive, so that you need to have them sync. And otherwise, it wasn't going to the cloud. So
they talk to each other. Yeah. I mean, okay. That's the reason she became OneNote. Yes, today is the day we're going to be talking about OneNote as a result of the conversation 2 weeks ago. So I want to have Kathy present for as long as she possibly can. Her name is Kathy Kubik. She happens to be Be the Ultimate Assistant alumni from 2016. She's based in Chicago, and she came to Be the Ultimate Assistant in Chicago. She has over 25 years experience supporting executives at top firms like Bank One and Sara Lee and Prudential and CNA. So Kathy really does know her stuff. Today, she's going to show you her top 5 tips in OneNote, and it's designed to transform your work as an assistant and how you can calm that chaos that's created from having various documents and tabs open, and you're going to have it in one streamlined notebook. Kathy says that she was organized before OneNote came along, but now she's uber efficient and she feels like she has superpowers. Jen just told you that she uses OneNote all the time, and I'm admitting to you all that I don't use it at all. I certainly know what it is, and I've seen Vicki teach it so much. So I'm looking forward to Kathy's presentation today, and I know all of you are. We had so much excitement on LinkedIn. Without further ado, let us welcome Kathy Kubik from Chicago. Come on in, Kathy.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much. Thanks for asking me to present on Heads Together. I love OneNote. I love sharing about OneNote. It has really transformed my life as an assistant. I've been using it for about 2 years, and the main reason I love it, my why for loving it, is we all have so many thoughts in our heads as assistants, and we have so many things to do.
Yeah.
We have meetings to schedule, events to do, and it is one place. It's one repository for all of those things, and it is just amazing. It syncs itself. You don't have to save it. It's something you can keep on in the background. I have it on another monitor, and you could just always be updating it. It helps me collaborate with my manager, as well as other assistants. I learn new things all the time about what OneNote can do.
So yeah. You'll notice in the chat, We have assistants who are coming to us today from all over the world, including Jackie from Scotland and Karen from Wisconsin, and so from all over. So Jen, if we can get Kathy started, we're going to share Kathy's screen. Kath, go ahead, take it away, and give us your knowledge.
Okay, great. So you should be able to see my screen. However, I'm having an issue with my mouse. I just grabbed another one, but it's not working with this monitor. So give me a second. I'm going to bring it onto my main laptop. So hang on 1 second. Sorry about that.
When that happens.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Just when we think we have it all down, that's when, the software messes up for us.
Right.
So welcome, Joy, from Downers Grove, Illinois. If you've got a fellow Chicagoan here in Kathy Kubik, not sure if you know each other. What I love about Heads Together is it gives assistants from all over the world the chance to come together like this. Stephanie's from the UK. Welcome. Kathy, you think you're ready with your mouse?
Can you see my screen?
Sure can.
Okay. Okay. So you can see my OneNote notebook?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So I love to say that OneNote has given me superpowers. I don't know who knows this, but Wonder Woman started out as an assistant. And I think if she was still an assistant now, she would definitely use OneNote. So I want to show you my top 5 ways that I use OneNote and how you can too. Now, this is geared to beginners. So if you've been using OneNote, you might learn something in how I manage for my boss and work with other assistants. I'm learning something new about OneNote every day, but it is geared to beginners, so keep that in mind. So if you've never used OneNote before, then I know it's totally new, so I am going to try to navigate slowly. I'm a little nervous, so I might be talking a little fast. Just, Bonnie, let me know to slow down if I need to.
Okay, you're doing great, Kathy. Everybody's so excited to learn from you. So let's see what you got.
Okay, so I'm going to walk through my top 5, which are action items. That includes to-do lists and scheduling, travel itineraries, meeting notes, information and planning, processes and checklists, and tracking your time and productivity. So first, let's do a test drive. So this is my notebook that you're seeing that I created for this meeting. If you wanted to create your own notebook, you would just go to File, New, and you can pick where it goes. You can choose a place on your computer or OneDrive. If you do OneDrive, you can share it with others. So I like doing that, and then call it whatever you want.
Is there any limit to how many people you can share with, Kathy?
I haven't come across a limit. I know at my previous company, we shared it with about 30 assistants.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it'll ask you if you want to invite people because I used OneDrive. I can hit not now and do it later. So this is what it will look like when you create your own notebook. It's very basic. Just a quick test drive. This is called a section. It looks like a tab. And if you think of it as an online notebook, that's really what it is, or an online binder. And think of a binder and adding tabs to it and adding all of your important information after it. So you can rename this. You can just click rename, name it whatever you want to name it. And to make new tabs, you just simply click at the top. And so these are sections. That's the top hierarchy. Then within that, you can add a page. And you simply add page on the right over here. So that's pretty much how the navigation works. I'm going to go back into my demo. And I want to go through my top 5. So action items and notes. The heartbeat of OneNote is the action items for me. Everything else stems from here. This is a recreation of my to-do list, or I like to call it action items. I have everything I need to do here. I like to say the outcome of what I want to accomplish, any action steps, and additional details. Now, I'm going to show you guys how to create this tag, but it's really nice because I love checking boxes off. I don't know who else likes doing that, but I love it. So that's built in here. Now, this might look, it's pretty basic. I like simple when it comes to action lists. But the great thing is that OneNote has page templates that you can use that I just took a page template and I modified it the way I wanted to use it. So to do a page template, you do an insert, page template. And because I've already picked these, they are options for me. There's 3 different to-do list styles, but I'm going to go to page templates so that you can see how it would look for you. I'm going to go to planners, and this is the simple to-do list, and it looks like this. That's what I like, but there's also a prioritized to-do list. It'll have 3 columns. I really like this for different meetings, like town halls or quarterly meetings, and priorities you need to do for those. And then there's a project to-do list. You can add as many projects as you want. You can copy and paste this. So that's just an example of the action items. I'm going to go ahead and close this. And when you click it, it'll put it right into your notebook. And you can change the title of it.
Can you have it in multiple tabs, Kathy?
I'm sorry, what?
Can you have the page in multiple tabs?
Yeah, absolutely, you can. You could copy it. You would do a right click, move or copy.
Cool.
And if you wanted to copy it into, say, your meetings tab,
Right.
You could copy it or you could move it.
Thank you.
So yeah. So mine, I have a table because I'm more of a table person than, this only lets me put one thing in there. So to do that, it's really easy. I just did insert table. And OneNote, because it's a Microsoft product, it looks like Microsoft Word. It has a lot of the same functionality. I will say that tables, you have more functionality in Word, but you could do something simple like, action item, whatever you need to do.
Cool.
Yeah. And then to do the to-do tag, now, I don't know if Vicky's on or not, but she always says if something's big on the ribbon, it's important.
Right.
So to-do tag is here, and it's also here. And so I'm going to click that, and it just makes a plain box. And then when I'm done with something, I can click it off. And the reason you would want to do that, and this goes a little bit more intermediate, but you can search on tags. You can say view, it's on the home page. You can go to home and find tags, and it'll highlight anything important. A star is a tag. Anything you need to do, anything you've done, it brings up. So that's one of the reasons. It not only looks pretty and you can check things off, but you can actually track it. For my manager, we meet twice a week, and he has his own action items list that I maintain for him. We go over it twice a week. It's really great because I could, just send him a link to the page. If you do a right click, copy a link to page, go in your email and paste it. He can just click on it and go to OneNote if he uses OneNote. If he didn't use OneNote, you could still use this to keep yourself organized. See, it looks like a text box. You can click it, copy it. You could go into Word and simply paste it. Another thing you could do is print it straight from OneNote into a PDF. Just do a Control P.
Malia is asking, can you track when you checked things off? Does it display a history?
Yes, when you go into view, you can see changes. Oh, history, I'm sorry. Go into history and you can look at recent edits, and it will track, you can say for the last 2 weeks, last 7 days, since yesterday. And if you're working on it with another assistant or you're with your manager, you can actually create custom tags that will say their name before it. So then when you're looking at those tags, it'll sort it. Here's Kathy's items, here's, Meg's items, and that's how you can kind of track it too. So yeah, awesome. So this is really the backbone of it for me. Everything's in here that I need, and also it communicates with Outlook. So the really cool thing is there's Outlook tasks up here. I can say, okay, and if you don't use Outlook tasks, that's fine too, but I do. So I'm going to click Outlook tasks, and I could say, okay, I need to prepare for my performance review. Maybe let's do that next week. And it will put a tag here, and you kind of can barely see it because of the way it's colored. But if you go into Outlook you go into your tasks, it will have brought it in there. So it's prepare for performance review. So I know, and it will tell me a reminder in 2 weeks. When you're done with that task, you can either check it off in Outlook and it will go away, and it will also check it as done in here. It does need to sync, so sometimes it takes a second to sync it, but it will make this green check mark. Of course, it's not working right now, but it did when I tested it earlier, as you could see.
There it goes. It just
there it went. Okay. So it's nice because either you could check it off either in OneNote or in Outlook, and it communicates with each other, which I think is really great. It's a great tool. Let's see. I wanted to also mention the table we talked about. Okay, archiving. So my action items, I do them every week. Every Friday, I usually go through, delete what I've done. And in a table, you can move things around easily. Like I can move this up if it's, more of a priority. If you want to delete something, I don't know if you could see this like arrow that comes up. You could just click on it and delete, and it will delete it. So it's really nice because you could just move things around like that. So I do that every Friday, figure out what I've already done. As most assistants know, you don't complete everything you want to in a week. You always have tasks that flow on to the next week. So then what I do is I right click on the action items. I do a move or copy, and I created an archive tab, and I am going to copy it. So now I know that in my archive tab, those action items are there. Usually I put the date up here so that I can differentiate it. And I'm going to go back in here, and I know that if I've already done this, I can delete it, because for me, I like having a trail if I ever need to look back and search and see what did I complete that week, or when did I do this project. So it's not gone, it's here. You can also color code these tabs. I like to make the archive a gray, which is silver in here, but it's then I know it's not something I ever really look at, and I usually put it at the very end of the notebook. So that's how I use the action items. That table, like I said, is kind of the heart, the action items. You can, move it into scheduling. Whenever I schedule, I have a list here, it's a table. I say what the meeting date is, who I need to talk to. When it's scheduled, I check it off. So that's an example. For travel, I like to book, and I know that we're not traveling right now, but I like to keep track of the travel so that I know if I've booked it or not. And again, I just check it off. So that's another way that you can use that. Traveler profile. So I have everything. OneNote's like my Bible for work. I also have a personal note, OneNote notebook for lots of things, but I know if I need to search on anything, the search feature is very powerful. It will bring it up. So, and WebEx instructions, I never remember what's my password, what's the link, I don't know. So there's too much going on in our heads. So this is a way to keep it all in one place. Before OneNote, I had a large Microsoft Word document that I put everything in. I used, the headers and to kind of track it in some way or be able to search it, but it was 100 pages or more. So this is just much more organized, and it's just, I can't say enough about it.
Do you access, Kathy, access OneNote more frequently on your phone or on your laptop or your desktop?
I would say the desktop. I'm not a big fan of the online version if I'm on a laptop. However, thank you for bringing up the phone, because you can download the app to your phone. And I've had walking meetings before with assistants because I can pull up the agenda on my phone. I can make notes on the phone, and it automatically syncs with the desktop version. There is an option to record audio. You can also do that in the desktop version. You would just insert, let's see, record audio. And sometimes I do that with meetings. I'm going to get into meeting notes really quick, but you can do this during a meeting if it's not super confidential, just for your own purposes, to go back and listen to the notes. And, I take a lot of meeting notes. And that's a really great feature too. If you do take a note on your phone, it goes into your quick notes, which is at the bottom. And then the cool thing about quick notes, and if you want to do a quick note from here, you just go to View, New Quick Note. And this is like, think of a virtual Post-it note. Because if you close out of OneNote, I did one earlier, but so here it is. So you can be in another program, and if you have notes that you need that you want kind of hovering while you're working, you could do that.
Huh.
So that's a great tip.
We've got like 5 more minutes, Kath, and then we're going to open it up to questions, and we already have a couple. Yeah.
Okay, so really quick on travel, I'll do a travel itinerary for my manager. That's in here. So if he's traveling, he can pull it up on his iPad or on his phone, and he has everything at his fingertips. Meetings, I do templates. Again, this is with the table. You know, I create a template for quarterly meetings, and it's all caps because I know this is my what to go off of. It's not filled in yet. I would do a right click. You can either copy it or you could do move or copy, and then you can fill it in. Like this is an example of one that I filled in for a town hall. Event planning is really great with. You can have any important and recurring meetings at your fingertips. Oh, I wanted to mention this. See how that links right to that page? This is a great feature if you're talking to your boss about something and you have, you want to talk about the meeting checklist, but you don't want to copy and paste it into his agenda because it would make it a huge document. You could do the link by doing a right click, copy link to page, and then all you do is you paste it.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah, so then it goes, and you can also link to a paragraph if you only want to link to what do we need to do the day before. Right click, copy link to paragraph, and paste it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's really powerful to do that. It's I love saving time, so I think all of us do. Let's see. Okay, I have one more thing on meetings I want to mention, and then I'll wrap it up. So for taking meeting notes, OneNote is really great. You could either go into Outlook, into the meeting, and I'll show that really quick. I do this all the time. So for today, for the heads together, if I want to take meeting notes, on the ribbon, there's an Outlook meeting notes bar. So I'm going to click that. If you click share notes with the meeting, it'll automatically give every attendee a link. I don't want to do that because I want to polish the notes. So I'm going to click take notes on my own. And it puts in all of this was the subject of the meeting, the date, any materials are there, and the participants. So this is great for taking roll for meetings. You can click when somebody has joined. I do this all the time for leadership meetings. And then you just take your notes on here. You can also do it straight from OneNote. So if you're on your home tab, meeting details, heads together, see it communicates with Outlook. I'm going to click it. And it will automatically do this page. And I think I'm going to delete this one because I think it's already there. It's not doing it. So there we go.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
well, and for everybody listening, we're going to stay on for a bit longer beyond the half hour because Kathy said she could. And we had got quite a few questions. Kathy, you're still cool with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
So did you have anything else to say before we start taking some questions? And I think you're going to need your screen for this.
Oh, really? Okay. No, I did want to say, you know, some tips, start small. If you're new to it, so, you know, what someone told me is to create a personal notebook, something that you, you know, if you're passionate about recipes or something like that, so you can see in small steps how it can help you. And I will have to say that I keep all of my kids' health information in a personal notebook. It helps me out when I need to be, when someone asks what medications do they take, you know, when you're going to an appointment, I just pull it up on my phone and it's all there.
Right. And the search feature is what everybody seems to rave about. So yeah. Cheryl Jones, Kathy is asking, is it possible to link the calendar, Outlook or Google, so it will populate meetings into specific folders created?
I am not sure about that, but I can definitely look into it. And Bonnie, I can let you know any questions. I'm not the answer.
After the fact, we post this on Facebook and YouTube. You can still comment, Kathy.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you can check on that. Okay. And another person, a LinkedIn user, is saying, can you show us how you share just pages and or sections with other people?
Yeah, absolutely. So if I wanted to share, let's see.
And please, if you have other questions, put them in the chat. We've got people from all over the world. Seriously, Kathy, people are like, whoa, this is blowing people's minds.
Oh, great.
In Chicago, in London.
I know I saw some of my friends in Chicago join, so I want to give a shout out to Meg. We worked together previously, and we shared a OneNote together, and really helped with the collaborating. So
you cracked me up when you said that if you weren't already married, you would want to marry OneNote.
Oh yeah.
Laugh.
Yes. Okay. So sharing a page, it depends. The answer depends on if that person uses OneNote. If they use OneNote, the really easy thing to do is click on email page.
Do you want to show your screen?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. I think it'd be easier if we just saw it.
Yes. I didn't realize I wasn't sharing anymore.
That's okay.
Having one monitor is not the best. Hang on one sec. Let me share again.
So we've got a listener from Nigeria. Welcome, Nasiru.
Okay, can you guys see my OneNote?
Yes, we can.
Great. Okay, so I'm in this page. I want to share a travel itinerary. I'm just going to click on the home tab, click on email page. This is if they use OneNote. And then you can address who it's to. It'll automatically populate that heading into the subject line and say, hey, check it out. And it will send that as a page. And then also, I thought it would put a link, but I am not seeing one. So that's just if you want to send it as a page. If you want to share it with someone that doesn't use OneNote, you can either do that copy this whole thing and paste it into a Word document, or you could do a print to the Adobe that I showed earlier and then send it that way. Sometimes I like putting it into Word because it doesn't look as pretty when I do a Control P into a PDF. It's just sometimes the margins are not the best, and I'm a perfectionist, so it doesn't really work out for me. But let me see if I can save this and show you. I did a demo the other day and it looked perfect when I printed to a PDF, so that's probably going to happen again. But sometimes the margins just are off, and you can add your company logo, or if you want to make it look pretty. I do that for meeting notes. I take them in OneNote, put them in copy and paste in Word, and then I can add our logo and just make it look really nice.
So you said your executive uses OneNote. Do you have access? Like, this is password protected, right? To get in, you need to put in a password.
Actually, no, but my manager and I, we share a shared directory that is only for us. So because it's stored there, no one else can access it. However, you can add a password if you wanted to. In the past, I've shared notebooks between different people and managers, and we might not want them to see a specific tab.
Right.
Like perhaps, let's say the HR tab. So you could do a right click and you can password protect just that section. And then you put a password in that you and whoever else you want to share it with know. Another person can still access the notebook, but not that particular section.
Cool. So Kathy, can you stop sharing your screen and come on back?
Yeah.
I want to, you might want to glance at the chat. We've got people from South Africa and Nigeria. Liz, welcome. You're a little late, no problem. All of you may want to check the chat because Tara Kaufman is sharing a tip about Control K. We'll give you a link for a page. There's a lot to know about OneNote, clearly, and it's Jen, why don't you come on back, because Vicki had shared a tip about Office Lens. Kathy, do you use Office Lens to take pictures of business cards? And
no, I haven't heard of it.
Jen, talk about Office Lens.
Yeah, sure. So
It's a free app for your phone, right?
Yeah. So on my smartphone, I use Office Lens, and I can take a picture of a business card, and then it saves in my OneNote notebook called Contacts. Now, of course, it was sent it to Quick Notes, but you have the functionality to kind of redirect where you want things to go to. So I sent it to a page called Contacts. And then from there, you can then tell OneNote when you have Outlook opened, you can tell it to take that file. I don't remember the name of the extension, but an Outlook file, and download that contact to Outlook, which is
it's
oh my
mind-blowing.
gosh, I have not heard of that. I'm definitely checking that out.
And you can take a picture of anything. What's cool, what I have seen demoed, is if you take a picture of any document, even if it's handwriting on the document, and search for the handwritten word, you know, a receipt, for example, OneNote will find it. It's just crazy. So clearly, Kathy, thank you so much for all of these tips. When Kathy and I were talking last week, I suggested to her that maybe she'll do a video or something with her, you know, set of top 5, maybe a few more than that, right, Kathy?
Yeah, I have a lot. There's some things I didn't have time to talk about. So yes,
right.
Definitely will.
Jen, you're going to put Kathy Kubik's LinkedIn contact information in the chat.
absolutely.
Kathy, you're inviting everybody to connect with you. And if you have questions about OneNote, Kathy is open to hearing them. It's in the chat right now. I mean, clearly from all of this activity, we know that there's a lot of interest. We're all trying to save time. Kathy, you're so right. We all need to save as much time as possible. And those of you who've been to BTUA know that I have the 5-minute rule. I want to be able to find anything within 5 minutes, any phone call, any phone number, any photograph, any document, anything. So Kathy, could you do that?
Absolutely.
You feel confident no matter where you are, you can find anything you need, right?
With OneNote, before OneNote, no.
Isn't that interesting? So you can go on, and Kathy admitted she goes on YouTube also to get extra tips, but you can search Office Lens if you want to understand that app. So Kathy, hang in there with us. I want to thank everybody for being with us today. And you know, now you have a way to find out more about OneNote. It's not only through Kathy, but each other. In the chat, you see people who use it all the time. Someone had an interesting question about a document. Zoraida is saying that she's working on a business model. What is the #1 feature that would be useful to use, please? I think maybe one of the templates. Kathy, what do you?
What was the question? She's working on a business model and she's looking for
the #1 feature that would be useful to use on a business model. I think if a business plan, then what would you say? Is there a particular template that might work?
You know, there are, if you look in those page templates, there are some interesting ones. I don't know if there's a business model per se, but there might be something that she could make work for her situation. If she looks in I think it's in the business tab, they had something that was like a project overview that looked really interesting.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, so that might help.
Yeah, Microsoft Office has some really great templates, you know, in Word. You can also look there, but in OneNote, Kathy's saying there are a lot of templates. So next week is Thanksgiving, right? Kathy, you got big plans for Thanksgiving or quiet time? What's going on?
We're spending time just with our immediate family here in the house, but my daughter has put together a menu that I don't know who's going to cook because I usually just make a pie. So.
You mean the whole menu's not in OneNote?
She used something similar to OneNote. She put it together, but she's just like me. There's links to all the recipes. It's some school app she's using.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wishing you a very happy Thanksgiving, and all of you listening. We are not going to do Heads Together next week because we want to give everybody some rest and urge you to enjoy the holiday and get ready however you're going to get ready. And I know that there are many of you on the call who are not celebrating Thanksgiving because you're not in the United States. So we're going to take next Wednesday off. We will be back on December 2nd at 3 p.m. Eastern Time with a very special guest. The subject on that day is something that is another burning issue and another burning topic among assistants that comes up a lot. And it is the subject of career progression to chief of staff, to team leader to the person, when it comes to what's next for high-level executive assistants, sometimes we're talking about a chief of staff position. So we're going to talk to one on Wednesday, December 2nd, and find out what it's really all about, because I think there's a lot of noise out there about this, and it's not for everybody, for sure. So, Jen, I am wishing you a very happy Thanksgiving, ma'am.
You too, Bonnie.
And you're going to have your daughter home from college, so that's exciting. Yay.
Excited. I'm so happy.
I want to urge you, and if you're not currently on my email list, you want to be, because on Black Friday, next Tuesday, November 24th, I'm going to be sending out a massive email with a very special offer for Thanksgiving to help celebrate Thanksgiving. Go to my website, please, btheultimateassistant.com. In the top, you can sign up for my emailing list, and you will get this email and their special offer. You can go to my website, have fun looking around. I want to wish you all a happy rest of the week. Please wear your mask, stay safe, stay healthy, because if we can all stay healthy, we can pretty much solve anything that comes along in OneNote or whatever else in the world. What do you say? We'll see you next time, Wednesday, December 2nd. Hope you'll be here.
You got it. All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye.